Most men believe that attraction is about looks, money, or charm. They think that if they can impress a woman with material things, she'll stay interested. So, they chase, they overgive, and they try to prove their worth, only to push her further away. But here's the truth. Attraction is not about what you have. It's about who you are. Women, just like men, have deep-seated psychological triggers, subconscious patterns of attraction that dictate their desires without them even realizing it. These triggers aren't logical, they're instinctual, rooted in thousands of years of human evolution. And the problem, most men are completely unaware of them. Instead of commanding respect, they seek approval. Instead of being the prize, they chase, and in doing so, they lower their value in the eyes of women. But what if you could reverse this dynamic? What if, instead of seeking attraction, you could naturally command it? What if you understood the psychology behind desire, what truly makes a man irresistible? Not just to women, but to everyone around him. Today, we're breaking down 10 powerful psychological principles that will completely change the way you think about attraction. This isn't about manipulation or tricks. It's about self-mastery, about becoming the kind of man who naturally draws people in through his confidence, presence, and mindset. If you understand these principles, you won't just attract women effortlessly, you'll gain respect, admiration, and authority in every aspect of life. Are you ready to level up? Let's dive in. 1. The power of emotional stability. Why women are drawn to unshakable men. Strength isn't just about physical power or financial success, it's about emotional control. Women don't just want a man who looks strong, they want a man who is emotionally grounded. Why? Because stability breeds trust. Imagine a ship in the middle of a storm. Would you rather be with a captain who stays calm, focused, and in control, or one who panics, reacts emotionally, and loses his ability to think clearly? Attraction works the same way. A woman needs to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. She wants to know that, no matter how chaotic life gets, you remain steady, reliable, and unshaken. Emotional instability kills attraction. When a man can't control his emotions, a woman instinctively pulls away. She may not even realize why, but deep down, something feels off. Here's what emotional weakness looks like. He reacts impulsively to small issues. He gets upset easily over trivial things. He seeks constant reassurance instead of standing firm in his beliefs. He loses control when faced with stress or disappointment. These behaviors signal weakness, and weakness repels. Why? Because when a man can't handle his own emotions, how can he handle a relationship, a family, or life's inevitable struggles? The magnetic power of emotional stability. On the other hand, a man who is emotionally unshakable is magnetic. He doesn't flinch under pressure. He doesn't complain when things don't go his way. Instead, he adapts, stays composed, and moves forward with purpose. A high-value man remains calm in the face of drama or conflict, handles challenges with logic and confidence instead of emotional outbursts, never lets external events control his mood, he stays grounded no matter what, provides emotional certainty, making the woman feel safe, secure, and valued. When life gets tough, he doesn't collapse, he stands stronger, and that's exactly why women are drawn to him. Emotional strength versus indifference. Being emotionally strong does not mean being cold or distant. It means being in control. You can acknowledge emotions without being ruled by them. You can empathize without losing your composure. The difference? A weak man is controlled by his emotions. A strong man controls his emotions. The Stoic mindset: control your emotions before they control you. When she gets upset, remain calm, let her feel your stability. When things don't go your way, Don't complain or panic, adapt and keep moving. When life throws challenges at you, embrace them as tests of your strength. A man who provides emotional certainty becomes a woman's safe haven, someone she can rely on, no matter what, and that kind of man is irresistible. 2. The scarcity principle: less availability, more value. What is the most powerful force in human psychology? Scarcity. People chase what they can't fully have. This is why luxury brands, rare collectibles, and exclusive events hold such high value, because they are not easily accessible. Women, like all human beings, operate on the same psychological principle. When something is abundant and easily obtained, it loses its appeal, but when something is rare, uncertain, or just slightly out of reach, our minds become obsessed with getting it. Why over-availability kills attraction. Most men make the fatal mistake of thinking that the more attention they give a woman, the more she'll like them. They text first every time, always make themselves available, and adjust their schedules just to see her. At first, she may appreciate the attention, but over time, something shifts. She stops valuing it, she stops chasing, she loses interest. Why? Because anything that is too easy to obtain is never truly valued. A man who is always available, who responds instantly, who makes his entire world about her unknowingly lowers his own worth. He removes the challenge, the mystery, the sense of winning him over. And when a woman feels that she has completely won you, her attraction naturally starts to decline. Why scarcity creates desire. Now, think about the opposite kind of man, the one who has his own life, his own passions, and his own priorities. He doesn't drop everything the moment she texts. He doesn't always initiate or constantly seek her validation. He doesn't need her attention to feel valuable. This kind of man isn't playing hard to get, he actually is hard to get. Why? Because his time is naturally limited. He has things to do. He has goals to chase. And this triggers curiosity and desire. A woman starts wondering, why isn't he always available? What is he doing that's more important than me? I want to be part of his world. Suddenly, she starts chasing, she starts valuing every interaction more, because she knows it's not guaranteed. How to apply the scarcity principle. Be present, but not too available. Show genuine interest, but don't always be the first to text or call. Give her space to wonder about you, to miss you, to crave your presence. Prioritize your own life first. Have goals, hobbies, and passions that don't revolve around her. Be the man who is on a mission, and make it clear that you value your time. Let her earn your attention. If she knows she can have you whenever she wants, she won't value it. If she feels she has to work to keep your interest, she'll stay engaged. The Stoic mindset: control your presence, control her interest. You don't need to ignore her or play mind games. What you need is a life that is so full, so meaningful, that you naturally become a high-value man. A Stoic man does not chase, he attracts. A Stoic man does not seek validation, he gives it to himself. A Stoic man does not make a woman his entire world, he lets her become part of his already amazing world. Because at the end of the day, the man who is the hardest to have is the man women want the most. 3. The deep voice and commanding presence effect: speak less, influence more. Attraction isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. The way a man carries himself, the way he speaks, and the way he occupies space in a room communicates more than words ever could. In fact, studies have shown that men with deep, controlled voices are perceived as more dominant, confident, and attractive. But here's the thing, your voice is only part of the equation. What's even more powerful than how you sound? Your presence. Presence is what you radiate before you even open your mouth. It's the silent authority that makes people take notice. Think about the men who command a room the moment they walk in. They don't have to talk loudly or seek attention, their energy does it for them. The subconscious power of presence. Most men fail to understand how much body language, tone, and movement impact attraction. A man with a strong presence moves with purpose, never fidgeting, rushing, or seeming unsure of himself. Maintains steady eye contact, without looking away nervously or seeking approval. Speaks slowly and deliberately, as if every word carries weight. This kind of man doesn't just exist in a room, he owns it. But a man with weak presence does the opposite. Hesitates when he speaks, as if doubting himself. Slouches or avoids eye contact, making himself appear smaller. Fidgets, rushes his words, or speaks too softly, signaling insecurity. These small, subconscious cues scream low confidence, and nothing diminishes attraction faster. Women don't just listen to what a man says, they observe how he moves, how he reacts, how he carries himself, and if his presence is weak, his attractiveness disappears. Commanding attention without saying a word. The most powerful men in history, from emperors to world leaders, have understood one thing: words are secondary. Energy is primary. Want to make people notice you without trying? Master your presence first. Slow down your speech. A man who rushes his words sounds like he's afraid of being interrupted. A man who speaks deliberately, with pauses, with control, forces people to listen. Own your space, walk with deliberate steps, stand tall, and never shrink yourself down. Confidence is felt before it is heard. Make eye contact, but don't seek approval. Most men make eye contact only to break it nervously. A man with presence makes eye contact calmly, with certainty, as if he expects to be respected. Say less, mean more. Insecure men over-explain. Confident men say what they need to, and nothing more. The Stoic mindset: less noise, more power. A Stoic man does not seek validation, his presence speaks for itself. A Stoic man does not rush his words, he lets them land with purpose. A Stoic man does not fidget, hesitate, or seek approval, he radiates certainty. Mastering your voice and presence isn't about faking confidence. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally commands attention, without ever needing to ask for it. Because at the end of the day, the most powerful men don't need to be the loudest in the room, they just need to be the most certain. 4. The psychological impact of walking away: why respect is more powerful than love. One of the greatest subconscious fears women have is losing a high-value man. This fear is not logical, it's instinctual. Just as men are wired to seek, women are wired to keep what is valuable. The moment a woman feels she might lose a man of worth, her emotions intensify, she values him more. But here's the problem. Most men do the exact opposite when they feel a woman pulling away. Instead of standing firm, they chase, beg, and over-explain. They try to fix what's wrong by giving more, apologizing more, and proving their worth. But in doing so, they only prove one thing: that they need her more than she needs them. And the second a woman senses that, her attraction drops. Why? Because neediness is the ultimate killer of desire. Why walking away commands respect. The men who hold power in attraction are the ones who can walk away without hesitation. It's not about playing games. It's about having self-respect. A man who walks away with confidence communicates: I am not desperate. I have options. My self-worth is not dependent on your validation. This mindset is magnetic because it is rooted in strength. Women, whether they realize it or not, are drawn to men who value themselves highly. Think about the most powerful men in history. Did they chase approval? No. Did they beg for attention? Never. They were focused on their path, and because of that, people gravitated toward them. A woman may test you. She may pull away. She may create emotional chaos. Your response in those moments defines your value. Most men panic. But a Stoic man stays calm, composed, and unshaken. How to master the art of walking away. Never chase when she pulls away. If she needs space, give it to her, completely. Let her feel your absence. Prioritize yourself, always. A man who has purpose and direction never makes a woman his mission. He has bigger goals. Know your worth. A high-value man doesn't beg for someone to stay. He knows that if someone truly values him, they will stay on their own. Let silence do the talking. If she pulls away and you do nothing, you force her to question her own actions. And here's what happens most of the time. If you remain composed and walk away with quiet confidence, she comes back. Why? Because you trigger the fear of loss. She realizes she wasn't dealing with an average man. She was dealing with a man who knows his worth and refuses to lower it. The Stoic mindset: never fear walking away. A Stoic man doesn't beg, he chooses. A Stoic man doesn't react emotionally, he remains centered. A Stoic man doesn't fear losing a woman, he trusts that the right people will stay. Attraction is never about convincing someone to be with you. It's about becoming a man who naturally draws people in, because of who he is. So remember, if you can walk away, you will never have to chase. 5. The unstoppable power of having a mission. Why purpose makes you magnetic. What is the single most attractive trait in a man? Purpose. It's not looks, it's not money, it's not even confidence. It's the fire in his soul, the mission he's dedicated to, the unstoppable force that drives him forward. A man who is focused on something greater than himself, whether it's his career, fitness, creativity, or personal growth, automatically becomes more magnetic. Why? Because women don't want to be a man's entire world. They want to be part of a world that's already exciting, a world that is bigger than them. Why a man with purpose is irresistible. A man with a strong mission has direction and discipline. He knows where he's going and takes action. Doesn't seek validation. His worth isn't determined by a woman's attention. Creates an exciting life. He naturally attracts people into his orbit. Now, contrast that with a man who lacks direction. He revolves his life around a woman. She becomes his purpose. He waits for approval. He's afraid of making decisions without reassurance. He loses himself in relationships. His identity depends on someone else. This second type of man repels women, even if he showers them with love. Why? Because nothing is less attractive than a man without drive. Women want a man they can admire, not a man who clings. A woman should feel like she's joining an exciting journey, not becoming the journey itself. The biggest mistake men make, making her their purpose. Most men make the critical mistake of putting a woman above their own path. They drop everything when she texts. They cancel their plans just to be with her. They wait for her validation before making decisions. At first, she may appreciate the attention, but over time, something changes. She loses respect, she feels less attracted, she starts testing him more. Not because she doesn't like him, but because she no longer sees him as a leader. A man who prioritizes a woman over his mission is a man who eventually loses both. How to build an unstoppable mission. If you want to be irresistible, you need to be a man on a mission. Here's how. Identify what drives you. What are you working toward? What excites you beyond relationships? What impact do you want to make? Create goals bigger than yourself. Whether it's building a business, getting in top physical shape, mastering a craft, or making a difference, find a purpose that pushes you forward. Commit to it, no matter what. Never compromise your mission for a relationship. A high-value woman will respect and admire your drive. Let her be part of your journey, but never let her replace it. A strong woman doesn't want to be your entire world, she wants to walk beside you as you build your empire. The Stoic mindset: find your mission, and never abandon it for anyone. A Stoic man does not wait, he moves forward, with or without approval. A Stoic man does not drop his goals, he stays committed. No matter who enters his life. A Stoic man does not seek validation, his purpose is his anchor. Not a woman's attention. Because at the end of the day, a man without a mission is just a man waiting to be led. So ask yourself, what are you building? What are you chasing? What drives you forward? Find that answer, and once you do, never let anyone pull you away from it. 6. Women are drawn to selective vulnerability, the art of strength in openness. Most men misunderstand vulnerability. They've been told that women want a man who is emotionally open, expressive, and always sharing his feelings. So they overcorrect, they pour out their emotions too soon, they seek reassurance, they look for comfort instead of providing it, and in doing so, they destroy attraction without even realizing it. The truth: women don't want a man who is emotionally weak. They want a man who is strong, but selectively vulnerable, a man who can open up, but only in a way that enhances his strength, never in a way that diminishes it. The difference between controlled vulnerability and weakness. Not all vulnerability is equal. The key to maintaining attraction is how and when you reveal your emotions. A weak man overshares his struggles before he has solved them. Seeks constant reassurance to feel emotionally stable. Complains instead of finding solutions. Dumps his emotional baggage on a woman, expecting her to fix it. A strong man acknowledges his struggles but faces them head-on. Seeks wisdom and perspective, not pity. Opens up in a way that inspires respect, not concern. Shares lessons from his pain, only after he has conquered it. Think about it. Would you rather follow a leader who is constantly overwhelmed, always doubting himself, always seeking support, or a leader who has faced adversity, overcome it, and now shares his wisdom? Women feel the same way. They are drawn to men who can handle life, yet occasionally let them in to see the depth beneath the strength. Why women crave selective vulnerability. Women don't want an emotionless robot, but they also don't want a man who collapses under pressure. They want a man who can open up, on his own terms. Why? Because selective vulnerability makes a woman feel chosen. If a man shares everything too soon, it feels weak, but if he only lets a woman see the deeper layers when she has earned his trust, she feels special, valued, and emotionally connected. A woman wants to know, he is strong for everyone, but with me, he lets his guard down. I am the one person he trusts to see this side of him. This creates a powerful dynamic of respect and intimacy. How to apply selective vulnerability. Share your struggles only after you've overcome them. Don't vent about your problems in the heat of the moment. Speak about them once you have processed, learned, and grown from them. Don't seek emotional validation. Women respect men who can handle their emotions independently. If you need guidance, talk to a mentor, a friend, or a professional, not the woman you're dating. Be strong first, then reveal depth. Let a woman see your strength before she sees your vulnerability. This way, she knows you are capable, not dependent. Open up gradually. The less you reveal too soon, the more she will crave to know more about you. The Stoic mindset: vulnerability should enhance strength, not weaken it. A Stoic man doesn't overshare, he controls his emotions. A Stoic man doesn't seek validation, he finds his own strength first. A Stoic man doesn't break under pressure, he faces adversity, overcomes it, and then shares the lesson. True power isn't in hiding your emotions, it's in controlling them and choosing when to reveal them. Because at the end of the day, a man who is strong but has layers beneath the surface is far more attractive than a man who is emotionally unstable and seeking comfort. So remember, reveal your depth, but only on your terms. 7. Women test men, and that's a good thing. Most men misinterpret a woman's tests. They think when she challenges them, pulls away, or acts indifferent, it means she's losing interest. But in reality, if a woman is testing you, it's because she's attracted to you. A woman doesn't test men she doesn't care about. She tests men she sees potential in, to see if they are as strong as they appear. Think of it like this. Would a kingdom allow just anyone to become its ruler? No, the strongest men must prove themselves. Attraction works the same way. A woman's subconscious wants to know if a man is truly confident, or just pretending. Why women test men? A woman may not even realize she's doing it, but she will test you in one way or another. Here's what it might look like. She challenges your opinions. She wants to see if you stand firm or if you change your beliefs to please her. A weak man adjusts his views to avoid conflict. A strong man listens but stands his ground. She creates small conflicts. She playfully pushes your buttons, makes a sarcastic comment, or disagrees just to see how you handle it. A weak man gets defensive or emotional. A strong man stays calm, even laughs it off. She acts disinterested. She suddenly takes longer to reply or doesn't seem as engaged in conversation. A weak man panics, chases, or asks what's wrong. A strong man remains confident, knowing his value isn't dependent on her response. How most men fail these tests. Most men react emotionally when tested. They chase and seek validation. They get upset or defensive. They question themselves and break frame. But what does that signal? It shows that deep down, they are insecure. A woman's test is not about the words she says, it's about your reaction. She wants to see, is this man emotionally stable? Does he know his worth? Can I trust him to lead? Or will he fold under pressure? The moment you lose your cool, she loses respect. How a high-value man passes a woman's test. A confident man doesn't react emotionally. He smiles and remains unfazed. Why? Because he understands that a test is not a threat, it's an opportunity to prove his strength. If she challenges your opinion, right pointing arrow, stay calm, stand your ground, but don't argue. If she creates conflict, right pointing arrow, laugh, remain composed, and never escalate the situation. If she acts disinterested, right pointing arrow, maintain your confidence. Continue living your life, and let her come back. A man who passes these tests is a man women can't replace. Because what she really wants is a man who can handle life's challenges, not just hers, but in every aspect of his world. The Stoic mindset: stay calm, stay confident, never break frame. A Stoic man is never shaken by a test. A Stoic man sees challenges as opportunities, not threats. A Stoic man never reacts emotionally, he responds with calm, unshakable confidence. Women don't test to be difficult, they test to find out if you are the kind of man they can respect. And the man who stays calm, confident, and unshaken, he is the man they will never forget. 8. Confidence in the face of rejection is irresistible. Most men fear rejection as if it defines their worth. They take it personally, assuming that if a woman turns them down, it means they're not good enough, not attractive enough, not valuable enough. But here's the truth. Rejection is neutral. It has nothing to do with your value as a man, and everything to do with the other person's preferences, circumstances, and emotional state. Think about it. If a woman turns down a free luxury car, does that mean the car is worthless? Of course not. The same applies to you. Your value doesn't decrease just because one person doesn't choose you. Why rejection is a test of your confidence. Rejection is not the problem. Your reaction to rejection is what truly matters. When most men get rejected, they beg for another chance, thinking persistence will change her mind. Get defensive or angry, acting as if she made a mistake. Lose confidence, questioning themselves and their self-worth. And all of this only proves one thing. They are attached to her approval. But a high-value man, he shrugs it off, as if it doesn't affect him. He laughs about it, because he knows rejection is part of life. He doesn't take it personally, because he understands that one woman's opinion doesn't define him. This kind of unshakable confidence is magnetic. Because when a man isn't afraid of rejection, he becomes more attractive. Why? Because he is not seeking validation, and a man who doesn't seek approval is a man women want to win over. Rejection only hurts if you let it. Most men run away from rejection. But the strongest men, they embrace it. Rejection is proof that you are taking action. A man who never gets rejected is a man who never puts himself out there. Rejection makes you stronger. Every no trains you to be emotionally unshaken. Rejection is a filter. It removes the women who aren't the right match, and leaves you open for someone who truly appreciates your worth. The key to winning: detach from the outcome. If you make an offer and she's not interested, cool, move on. If she pulls away or ghosts you, no problem, keep living your life. If she says no, you respect it, smile, and walk away, without a second thought. And ironically, the men who handle rejection with calmness and certainty are often the ones who end up getting more women chasing them. The Stoic mindset: rejection doesn't hurt, attachment to approval does. A Stoic man is not affected by rejection, he sees it as a neutral event. A Stoic man never begs or pleads, he knows his worth remains the same. A Stoic man doesn't fear loss, because he understands what is meant for him will come effortlessly. When you stop fearing rejection, something powerful happens. You radiate confidence. You stop overthinking. Women start chasing you instead. Because at the end of the day, rejection isn't a failure, it's proof that you're living boldly. So take your shot, own your worth, and never let a single no shake you. 9. Women are drawn to men who are hard to read, the power of mystery. If a woman knows exactly what you're thinking all the time, if you're predictable, if you wear your emotions on your sleeve, her interest fades fast. Why? Because curiosity fuels desire. Think about the most addictive TV shows, books, and stories. What do they all have in common? Uncertainty, tension, unresolved mystery. They keep you hooked, wanting to know what happens next. Attraction works the same way. Women obsess over men who keep them guessing. This doesn't mean playing mind games. It means maintaining an element of mystery and unpredictability in the way you carry yourself. Respond, and reveal who you are. Why being too predictable kills attraction. Most men make the mistake of being too easy to read. They always text back immediately. The moment she texts, they drop everything to respond. No challenge, no mystery. They over-explain their emotions too soon. They reveal everything they feel, hoping it will create a deeper bond. Instead, it removes all intrigue. They constantly seek validation or reassurance. They want to know, do you like me? Are we okay? Are you still interested? But instead of pulling her closer, this pushes her away. These behaviors signal neediness and lower value. Because when something is too easy to obtain, it stops being exciting. The power of being unpredictable. A high-value man. He takes his time to respond, not because he's playing a game, but because he's genuinely busy. He reveals himself gradually, letting a woman discover him over time instead of giving everything away too soon. He stays emotionally composed, never making it too obvious how much he likes her too early. This creates intrigue, excitement, and attraction. When a woman isn't sure what's coming next, she stays emotionally engaged. She starts thinking, does he like me as much as I like him? I want to know more about him. He's different from other men, I need to figure him out. And this keeps her chasing. How to master the art of mystery. Respond at your own pace. Don't always be instantly available. A man who is truly busy with his life doesn't drop everything for a text. Revealing too much, too soon, ruins the chase. Let her discover you gradually, instead of putting everything on display immediately. Stay emotionally composed. Don't wear your emotions too openly. Let her wonder how you feel about her. Be unpredictable in a way that excites her. Sometimes be playful, sometimes be serious. Keep things dynamic and interesting. The key to attraction isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being a man of depth, mystery, and self-control. The Stoic mindset. The man who excites a woman's imagination is the man she can't stop thinking about. A Stoic man is not an open book, he lets people read one chapter at a time. A Stoic man does not overshare emotions, he reveals them only when it matters. A Stoic man does not seek approval, he creates intrigue effortlessly. If she always knows what's coming next, she stops chasing. But if she's drawn into your world, eager to know more, constantly intrigued, she'll never stop thinking about you. 10. A man who controls his desires controls everything. What separates the average man from the greatest men in history? Self-control. The ability to master one's desires is the ultimate test of a man's strength and power. Most men are slaves to their impulses. They chase women impulsively, they seek constant validation, they let their emotions dictate their actions, and in doing so, they lose respect, power, and influence. But the men who hold true power, they control their desires, rather than being controlled by them. This is what makes them stand out, what makes them command respect, and what makes them impossible to ignore. Why most men fail? They are ruled by their desires. Look around you, most men desperately chase women, thinking the more they pursue, the more they will be wanted. Lower their standards, settling for whatever attention they can get. Let lust control their decisions, making reckless choices that sabotage their success. Abandon their purpose for temporary pleasure. And where does that lead them? To weakness, regret, and loss of respect. But a high-value man, he doesn't chase mindlessly, he chooses wisely. He isn't desperate for intimacy, he maintains standards. He has self-control, his purpose comes before pleasure. Women subconsciously crave men who are selective, disciplined, and independent. Why? Because a man who can control himself is a man who can control his life. The most respected men in history had unshakable self-control. Think about the greatest men in history, leaders, warriors, philosophers, and kings. Were they impulsive? Did they let lust dictate their choices? Did they chase after women desperately? No. They had absolute control over themselves, and that made him powerful. A man who is ruled by his desires is easy to manipulate. A man who masters his desires, he becomes unstoppable. How to become the man in control? Stop chasing, start choosing. Be selective about who you allow into your life. A man who chases automatically lowers his value. Let attraction come to you. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you become the prize. Women are drawn to men who don't need them but choose them intentionally. Master your impulses. Whether it's lust, anger, or instant gratification, control is the key to power. A man who is not easily swayed by his emotions commands authority in every aspect of life. Focus on building your empire. The most attractive men are those who are too busy chasing their goals to chase women. When you prioritize your mission, people naturally gravitate toward you. The Stoic mindset: master yourself, and everything else will fall into place. A Stoic man does not chase, he attracts. A Stoic man does not seek approval, he holds the power. A Stoic man does not let desires control him, he controls his desires. The moment you stop chasing women is the moment they start chasing you. Because at that point, you become the prize, the man who doesn't need validation, the man who is focused, disciplined, and in control of his own destiny. And that is the kind of man who commands the world. Master yourself, and the world will follow. Attraction isn't about tricks, it isn't about playing games, pretending to be someone you're not, or following superficial dating tactics. Attraction is about becoming a man of true value, a man who is strong, disciplined, emotionally stable, and in full control of his life. Women, and people in general, are drawn to men who are emotionally unshaken, no matter the situation, have a mission bigger than chasing approval, are selective, rather than desperate, hold their frame, even in the face of rejection, carry themselves with quiet strength and presence. When you master yourself, everything else, success, respect, admiration, and attraction, falls into place naturally. Because the highest value men in the world don't seek approval, they attract it effortlessly. The final truth: if you control your emotions, you control your destiny. If you walk away when necessary, you command respect. If you master your desires, you become unstoppable. Most men chase. Most men seek validation. Most men are controlled by their impulses. But the few who rise above, who develop strength, wisdom, and unwavering confidence, become the kind of men who can't be ignored. Stop chasing, start becoming. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom on attraction, success, and self-mastery. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and never chase.